Hi, I'm going to discuss Chapter 10 of Skinner's book. Basically, Skinner explains psychology's process of conceptualizing the mind, or psychoanalysis, by using behaviorism. The interaction of a person, the environment, and the punishments or reinforcers found within. The intellectual side of life of the mind consists of intentions, purposes, ideas, etc. But facts show that the aspects of human behavior are actually due to the contingencies of reinforcement, the situation in which behavior occurs, behavior itself, and consequences. Needs or feelings find satisfaction or expression through action in the environment. The environment is converted into experience, action into ideas, purpose, or will. Self or personality is at best a repertoire of behavior impacted by consequences, or contingencies, not consequences, but that would be the same sort of thing. The id is basically an innate susceptibilities to reinforcement, almost necessarily in conflict with the interaction and interests of others. The superego is a small voice which is usually a punitive agent representing the interest of others. An ego would be a product of daily life, involving the susceptibilities to reinforcement and punitive contingencies arranged by others. So basically the whole idea of the conflict of id, superego, and ego is basically a person learning that what they want is in direct disagreement with what's available in the environment and what others want. And so they learn what's acceptable and what's not acceptable through punishment and reinforcement. And that's how the id, ego, and superego have their little trinity. Skinner basically goes on and discounts several things, including Jung's archetypal patterns and collective unconsciousness, saying basically it's just people around the world reinforcing the same behaviors or punishing the same behaviors. And he goes on to say that it is often said by psychoanalysts that behaviorism cannot deal with the unconscious, but actually that's all it deals with, because we're not aware of our reinforcement that occurs in the environment. Therefore, everything is really behaviorism for the unconsciousness, is that we're not aware of what's happening. We need to look at the actions of the environment to see what causes emotions, instead of saying that our emotions cause something to happen. The answer is actually in the environment. And people tend to prefer a lofty or magical idea of what happens rather than the facts of behavior and what occurs in the environment. But to say that a rope is strong because it has strength means absolutely nothing. It just goes into the mentalistic behaviors and circular thinking. So basically it comes down to the way we talk about things is incorrect and confusing. He actually says that mentalism has obscured the environmental antecedents which would have led to a much more effective analysis. They have failed to find the golden fleece. Basically, Skinner is throwing major shade, saying that what they needed was right there in front of them, but because they were being too lofty and too flowery with their speech, they missed what they were looking for. They couldn't see the forest for the trees. So my question, and I'm going to write this up at the end too, is, do you feel that our unconscious is in fact our unobservable relations between behavior and genetic and environmental variables? Do you think that behaviorism can truly explain the way the mind works better than psychoanalysis? Thank you.